Hello students, good evening all. So welcome back to our next session. So today is our first session of chapter statistics. So far we have finished with our limits and derivatives, and I have mentioned there will be a continuation chapter for that in your 12th standard. So now let's get into our next chapter, our next topic, which is a fresh one here, which is a statistics. So I hope some of you may already familiar with this statistics and the concepts related to it. So we'll just discuss the introduction part and the main topics in our today's session, and we'll just continue the rest topics in our next session of statistics. So before starting our today's session, I'll just give you a quick overview of the concepts that we are going to cover in our today's session of statistics. So we are going to start with this introduction part of it, in which we are going to discuss these types of series basically, and then once we get into our concept, so basically in statistics, so this statistics will be very important when it comes to your engineering point of view, right? So far in your 11th standard, as part of our JEE, so we are going to discuss this mean, median, mode, as well as mean deviation, standard deviation. So there are a few more terms which we are going to learn in our next session too. So as part of our JEE point of view, JEE syllabus, so these are the top topics that you guys should be aware of it. So as part of that, in our today's session, we are going to start with this types of series, and then we are going to check how we actually find this mean, median, as well as mode for each of these different types of series that we are going to discuss here. So I hope everyone is familiar with this mean, right? Because mean is nothing but a simple average, isn't it? So many of you are already familiar with this, but the trick here is, as we know here, we are having different types of series, right? So we should be aware of what are the typical types of series we are having, and how can we actually find the mean, median, as well as the mode according to the types of series, right? So let's see each of the topics one by one. As I mentioned, we are going to start with this types of series. So before getting into that, can anyone mention what are the types of series that you guys are familiar with? Because this statistics chapter you might have learned in your 10th standard. At least you are already familiar with this mean, median. Maybe at least for one typical series you might have done it. So can anyone tell me what types of series you guys are familiar with? Can you guys name them? Anyone quickly? Okay. So when it comes to our types of series, so we are having three types of series here. So the first one is individual series, and then discrete series, and then continuous series. So can at least anyone tell me the definition of this corresponding series? Like at least the way how the data will be given in each of the series. So that is nothing but the simple definition of it. Right. So can anyone tell me what is the data which will be giving in each of these series which we have here? The first one is the individual series, the next one is discrete series, and the next one is continuous series. At least you can give me an example of them if any one of you are familiar with these series. Quickly guys, I'll just give you 1 minute. So let's read the name of it. Based upon that, you can get some idea, because you guys have already learned this chapter, so you should be familiar with this series. Give me example for at least any of the series if you guys are familiar with. So let's check. Okay, so let's go one by one. So the first series which we are going to see here is individual series, which means the data will be given individually. So you have to find the mean, median or mode for the individual given series. So for suppose, let's take an example here, 5, 7, 8 and 11. So if this is my data and if I mentioned find the mean of it, find the median of it, you can find it, right? So this particular series is nothing but individual series, right? So likewise you can take many examples like 100, 150, 120 and all. So this is also an example of individual series. So let's move on to a discrete series. So what is the difference we can see when it comes to discrete series? What will be the new term which will be entering when we are taking this discrete series? Any idea, guys? Any idea? So when it comes to discrete series, we will be having frequency along with it. So we will be having frequency here. So in this discrete series, it's not an individual when it comes to a frequency, because if for suppose we are having 100, 120, 100 and 500 and some 200. So for this data, for suppose if I want to write this, establish this in typical discrete form, then how we'll be writing 100, 120 and 200 and 500, where the frequency of 100 here is 2 because 2 times, and the frequency of 120 is 1, frequency of 200 and frequency of 501. So likewise we can establish this, and here you can see in general the tables will be given according to the frequency. So whenever you can see a frequency, then that typical given information will be coming under the discrete series. Then what about continuous series? What is the difference here? Is there any difference? You guys have any idea what is a continuous series? So this is very easy, guys. Quickly, you are all familiar with that. So have you guys heard of intervals with respect to the data given in the form of intervals? So that is nothing but that typical series is called to be a continuous series where the data is given in terms of intervals. For suppose I can take some 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 and 30 to 40, and for this I'll be having my frequency too, for example 5, 11, 2 and 3, right? So when you see the intervals are present, then that series will be coming under this continuous series. So here we are having 3 types of series. The first one is individual simple numbers, and in discrete series the second one will be having the frequency, and in third one continuous series we will be having the interval form of information which is given here, right? So now our total aim here is how to find this mean, median as well as mode for all these respective series. So for individual series, how we are going to find, for discrete series, how we are going to find, as well as the continuous series, how we are going to find this mean, median as well as the mode. Right, so let's start with the mean and then we'll followed by this median as well as the mode. So first we'll just start with this mean. So mean is nothing but it generally refers to the arithmetic mean. So it's simply the average, the arithmetic mean. So you can call it as any way. Right, so simply it is nothing but the arithmetic mean of the given information. Right, of the given series. But according to the series, how we are going to find the procedure and the formula will be varying according to the types of series. Right, for a very easy one, we can start with, if I raise a question like find the average of the given two numbers 5 and 8. So here the average of, finding the average of these two numbers is nothing but considered to be a mean of these two numbers. Right, so when you have these two numbers 5 and 8, in which category this numbers will be forming, like in which category of series this will be falling, which is nothing but a individual series. Right, so here there is no frequency, so it will be falling under the type of individual series. Right, so let's see for the first one, which is individual series. So how we are going to find this arithmetic mean for a given individual series. Right, so for a set of values x1 comma x2 comma x3 x4 and so on until xn. So here we are having some number of terms which are starting from x1 to xn. So if you have to find the average or the arithmetic mean for this given individual series, then the average, the arithmetic mean is denoted by x bar and the arithmetic mean will be calculated using the formula which is given here. Right, so these are the terms which are given in the individual series: x1, x2, x3, x4 and so on until xn. Right, the average here, the arithmetic mean of these following elements which are given in the individual series is nothing but x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus and so on until xn by n, which is nothing but simply average of the given terms in the series. Right, so it's very simple when it comes to the individual series. Right, so this is the formula and this is the representation which we'll be using for the arithmetic mean. Right, so you can even write here x bar is nothing but in terms of sigma, because that is nothing but sum. So 1 by n sigma xi, where I is from 1 to n. So from the starting value to the nth value which is given in the individual series. So this is the arithmetic mean formula which we'll be using for the individual series. Right, so now the next type of series which we are having is a discrete series, which means we'll be having frequencies here. For some set of values, they'll be having along with their corresponding frequencies. Right, so here you can see for a set of values x1, x2, x3 and so on xn with corresponding frequencies. So these values are given with their corresponding frequencies which are given here f1, f2 and so on until fn. So now as here the information, the data is given in the format of the discrete series where we are having their corresponding frequencies. So now in order to find the arithmetic mean, what will be the formula we can obtain? So the formula here is given below. So again the arithmetic mean will be as usually denoted by x bar, and then as here we are having the frequency, the formula in order to find the arithmetic mean here is nothing but x1 into f1. So you have to identify, it will be the set of value into the corresponding frequency. So that is, it's not with any frequency, it will be only with their corresponding frequency. So x1 into f1 plus x2 into f2 plus and so on until how many terms here we are having? N set of values. That means xn into fn divided by, in the denominator it will be sum of all the frequencies, which means f1 plus f2 plus and so on until fn. So you know we can even represent this in terms of our sigma, That means x bar here will be equal to sigma xi fi, where I is varying from 1 to n, and this sigma fi, which is the sum of all the frequencies, is denoted by capital N. So this is the general representation of the formula for arithmetic mean for the given discrete series. Right, so the only difference here is for the previous series we doesn't have any frequencies, but here we'll be having frequencies. So based on that, changing. So now the next series here we're having is a continuous series. So for continuous series we'll be having the same formula as we apply for the discrete series, but there will be a slight change here, because for continuous series we won't have the direct x values. Instead we will be having intervals. Right, so now we have to find this x value in order to apply the discrete series formula. Right, because frequencies will be there for each of the interval, the corresponding frequencies. Right, so let's see for the continuous series here. The data is provided in the form of class intervals. So that is the basic definition for a continuous series. The data will be provided in the form of class intervals. Right. So the method of approximation is very determining mid value of each class interval. So in order to apply this, so here we are going to approximate the given provided value in the form of intervals. Right. So to do those approximation, that approximation method by determining the mid value of the each class interval. That means for suppose if I am having 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So for these intervals, how I can determine my mid value? So my mid value is nothing but 0 plus 10 divided by 2. That means 10 by 2, 5. Next one, 10 plus 20 divided by 2. That is 30 by 2 equal to 15. And the next one, 20 plus 30 divided by 2, 50 by 2, 25. So 5, 15 and 15. So these will be my mid values of each of the class intervals here, and these will be equal to my x1, x2 and x3 and so on. Right, so now according to the formula here, what we required? We required the corresponding mid values. That means the corresponding mid values will be having the corresponding frequencies. Right, so here the corresponding frequencies we can take for this mid values. So the x1, x2, x3 values in this continuous series are nothing but the mid values of each of the class intervals. Right, so those are the x1, x2 and x3 and so on xn values. And as usual for this, in the given information we will be having the corresponding frequencies also here, and then we can apply the same formula which we have applied in the discrete series. That means our x bar arithmetic mean will be equal to sigma xi fi divided by capital N. So capital N here is nothing but equal to sigma fi, where I will be varying from 1 to n. So here also I will be varying from 1 to n. So the same formula will be applied, but the only difference you can identify when it comes to the continuous series is the x1, x2, x3 and so on values are nothing but the mid values of the each class interval. Right. So as we have discussed how to find the arithmetic mean of each of these three series, our individual series, discrete series as well as the continuous series. So let's do some questions related to our mean first, and then we can jump into our next concept. So I hope you guys can give it a try. Take 2 to 3 minutes and give it a try, and then I'll just try to explain, because it's related to arithmetic mean as well as it's a given individual series. So you guys could able to solve this question. Quickly give it a try, guys. If you have doubts, please do comment in the text box so that I can just reply and clear your doubts. So I'll be checking. So quickly read the question, guys. So read the question, guys, first. So if the mean of a set of observations x1, x2 and so on until x10 is 20. So first let's write the mean formula. I'll just write the mean formula. x1 plus x2 plus and so on until xn divided by n. So this is our mean formula. So that's using this, by applying this you have to solve this question. So the mean of the set of observations are already given, x1, x2 and so on until x10 is 20. That means 10 number of terms here. And the mean of x1 plus 4, x2 plus 8, x3 plus 12 and so on, x10 plus 40 is, you have to find the mean of this given numbers, this given series. So quickly write the formula, apply this, then it will be easy for you to find the answer. If you have any doubts, do comment in the text box, guys. I'll be checking. So first let's write down the question what they are asking for. So you have to find the mean. Okay, let me give you 2 more minutes. So just give it a try. It's very easy once you understand the application of the given formula. First write down the given information and then check how can you relate the given information to the question which you have to find. Okay guys, so let's solve this question. So if the mean of the set of observations is 20, so let's write this given information. That means mean of these 10 terms, which means x1 plus x2 plus and so on until x10. How many terms? 10. So divided by 10 is nothing but 20. So this is the given information. So now we have to find the mean of these following. That means x1 plus 4, x2 plus 8, x3 plus 12 and so on until x10. Again here 10 terms, x10 plus 40. So here we are having 10 terms. So that's what we have to find. Right. So here what I can take all my x terms one side, like together. I can write them together. That means x1 plus, x2 plus, x3 plus and so on, x10 divided by 10 as 1 and then remaining terms as 1. That means 4 plus, 8 plus, 12 plus and so on, 40 divided by 10. So now here you can see x1 plus, x2 plus, x3 and so on, x10 divided by 10. So in this entire place we can substitute that with 20. So that's what the given information it is. So 20 plus, so here I can pull out 4 as it's the common in all the terms. So if I pull out 4, then it will be 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus, and so on until 10. So this is sum of first 10 natural numbers. So this will be 20 plus 4 by 10. So we can directly apply our sum of first natural and natural numbers, which is n into n plus 1 into n plus 1 divided by 2. So here n is 10. So 10 into 10 plus 1, 11 divided by 2. So this 10 and this 10 will be getting cancelled, and 2 here 2 times, which means 20 plus 11 into 2, 22, which is equal to 42. So for the given information, we have to figure out this average, the mean of this series, which is equal to 42. So I hope you guys got an idea how to deal with these types of questions using the given information and using our standard formula of finding the arithmetic mean. So this question is related to our first series, which is individual series. So let's move on to the next question, guys. So here comes the next question. So by looking at the data itself, you might have understood under which category of series this given question will be falling. So read the question carefully and get back to the formulas that we have discussed and try to solve this question. So take 2 to 3 minutes and give it a try, guys, quickly. So here in statistics, where we are dealing questions with mean, median and mode, it's all about the formulas. So you have to remember the formulas perfectly so that you couldn't do any mistake while solving the questions. Right, so that's all you will be doing when it comes to our JE level. So do focus on the formulas more and try to apply them properly without any mistakes. So many of the students do this thing, like they'll be very confident in this, and they'll, while solving it, they'll just do small calculation errors, like some multiplication, some addition, something like that. So please try to avoid those things, because when it comes to statistics, it's all about the formulas. You will be, according to our JE levels, I'm talking about our JE level. So it's all about the formulas, it's all about the calculation you'll be doing. So quickly, guys, give it a try. So read the question carefully first. Identify in which category it will be falling, and then pick the corresponding formula. So if anyone got the answer, please quickly let me know, guys. So here, by looking at the information itself, you can say that the given information is in discrete series, because here we are having the obtained values as well as the frequencies here. So let's read the question first. So the marks obtained by 30 students of class 10 of a certain school in a mathematics paper consisting of 100 marks are presented in the table below. This means these are the marks which are obtained by 30 students of class 10th. Right, so find the mean of the marks obtained by the students. So we have to find the mean of the marks. So the marks here we are having 10, 20, 36, 40, 50. So what does the frequency says here? So 3 students has actually secured 50 marks. So 2 students secured 56. So that's what the frequency talks about. So here you can see number of students. So when we have frequency, how we'll be finding our mean, which is x bar is equal to sigma xi fi divided by sigma fi, where I will be varying from 1 to 1, same with the numerator. So this will be the formula for our discrete series. So quickly apply this and find the answer, guys. It's simple calculation. It's all about calculation and formula, as I mentioned. So quickly do it, guys, and let me know the answer. So it will be better if we go by a tabular form. So as you can see here, it's a xi. You can write them as a tabular. And then here you can see fi. So we already have this xi and fi. So correspondingly, we can form another table which states xi fi. So the corresponding you can have it here xi fi. So that it will be easy for us to find this sigma xi fi once we are having this table of xi fi. So first find the table here of this xi fi. So first, as I mentioned, try to find this table of sigma xi fi. So let's do that first. So sigma xi fi, so 10 into 1, 10, 20 into 1, which is 20, and then 36 into 3, 18, 9, 10, so 108, and then 40 into 4, 160, 50 into 3, 150, 56 into 2, 112, and then 60 into 4, 240, 70 into 4, 280, 1 into 72, 72, 80 into 1, 80, 88 into 2, 176, 92 into 3, 276, and then 95 into 1. So this is the table which shows the xi fi. So now here we have to find the sigma. That means the sum of all these terms. So 20 plus 10 plus 108 plus 160 plus and so on. So let's just add up all them together in order to get our value, required value sigma xi fi. So this sigma of entire value is nothing but equal to 1779, and we also required the sigma fi. So this is our frequency, and it's already mentioned sigma fi is nothing but the total number of students. So no need to count. So the total number of students is already given, mentioned in the question, which is 30. So now our mean here is nothing but 1779 divided by 30. So let's do our calculation here. So x bar here will be, it will be obviously in terms of decimal. So it will be around 59.3. So the mean obtained, the mean of the marks obtained by the students of class 10th is nothing but equal to 59.3. So it is 59.3, guys. So that's how we'll be doing our questions like this. So let's move on to our next one. So I hope you guys can solve it. Give it a try fast. Quickly, guys. So read the information and make it fast, because we have already solved 2 questions from this main concept, and this also quite similar to our previous question, because we are going to apply the same formula. So it will be easy. So give it a try fast so that we can move on to our next one. So as I mentioned, when we are having intervals, there we have to find the midpoint. So that's how we are going to solve this kinds of class interval questions, which means our continuous series type of data. So be careful, guys, while doing with this calculations. As I mentioned, statistics is all about the small calculations as well as the formulas and identifying which formula we have to apply and everything. It's very easy if you're confident in these topics, in these concepts. If you're confident and sure about the formulas and the small without any small multiplications and all, so it will be very easy chapter. So let me see if I get any questions in regard of this concept, so that I can clear your doubts. So far no one raised any questions. So I hope you guys are following and you guys have no doubts so far. So quickly solve this question, guys. So you can identify this question will be falling in our third type of series, continuous series. So I'll give you 2 minutes. So quickly solve it and let me know the final answer for this. So in order to solve this class interval type of questions, what is the first step, guys? We have to find the midpoint of the class interval. So go by that first. That means which is our upper class limit. That means this will be this 10 will be our upper class limit and 25 will be our lower class limit. So you just find the average by these two. Okay, so let's start solving this, guys. So here you can see it's in terms of class interval. So let's write that. So 10 to 25, 25 to 40, 40 to 55, and 55 to 70, and 70 to 85, and 85 to 100. So here what is the first thing which we have to go? We have to find this xi. So frequency is already given, which is fi here. So frequency is 2, 3, 7, 6, 6 and 6. But now in order to apply our formula, we have to find xi. So xi is nothing but midpoint here. So 20 plus 10 by 2, that is 35 by 2, which is 17.5. 40 plus 25, 50, 65 divided by 2, that is 32.5. And then 55 plus 40, 95 divided by 2, which is 47.5. So likewise the next one, it will be 62.5. And then 70 plus 85 divided by 2, 77.5. And then 185 divided by 2, that is 92.5. So these are our xi values. So now here we are having the fi as well as xi. So what is the formula, guys? Sigma xi fi I is equal to 1 to n divided by sigma fi I is equal to 1 to n. This will be our main formula. So now here we are having our fi and xi. So let's find out xi into fi, which is 17.5 into 2, 32.5 into 3. So let's do the calculation, guys, quickly. So let's do it. So it will be 35 into 3. So 97.5. 47.5 into 7. Again it will be 332.5. 62.5 into 6. Around 300 again, 370.0. And 77.5 into 6, 465, guys. And next, the last one, so it is 4, not 9. Yeah. 92.5 into 6, 555. So now we have to find the sum of all these values as well as our sum of frequencies. Right, so it is 18, 27, 30. So here our sigma fi is equal to 30. So we got the denominator in order to find our mean. So let's find the numerator also, which is sigma fi xi. So this will be 0 here, and then 40. So it will be 0 again. So 3, 6, 6 here, and then 18. So it will be 18. So 1860. So the sum of all these values according to our xi fi, according to the formula, which is 1860, and fi will also equal to 30 here. So let's divide. 3 6 are 18, 3 2s are 6. That means the average of the given following data in terms of the class intervals is nothing but equal to 62, which means x bar here is equal, x bar here is equal to 62. So this will be the final answer. So I hope you guys have also got the same answer. So if you guys have any doubts or any errors, please check with the solution and let me know. If not, we can just move ahead with our next concept, that is median. So I hope you guys have already solved it. So let's move on to the next topic, guys. Median. Sorry. Okay. So median. So I hope you guys are already familiar with median too. So but just let me give you the introduction to it. So median is nothing but the middle value in a given distribution. So whatever the distribution can be, median is always refers to the middle value of the given distribution. Right. So if it is a given individual series, so first let's talk about the individual series. So then how can we find the median? So we can easily find the median by arranging the data either in a ascending order or in a descending order of a magnitude. So the main thing and the first thing we have to remember while doing or while finding the median of any given distribution, we have to arrange the data in ascending or descending order if it's a individual series, right? So for that individual series, if the total number of values is odd, then directly the middle term is nothing but n plus 1 by 2th term. For suppose if I am having 5, 6, 8, 12 and 17. So how many number of terms I am having? My number of terms equal to 5, and my whether my total number of values is odd or even, it's a odd number where n is equal to 5. Then directly you can say your middle term is nothing but 5 plus 1 by 2, that is 6 by 2, that is third term. So what is the third term here? So here you can see my information, my series is in ascending order only, small to big, right? So 8 is the middle term, which is the median of this given median in this given distribution. So the same with the next one when we have the even number of terms. But when we have even number of terms, there will be two middle terms. Then we have to take the average of those two terms. So that means we have, when the n is even, which means the total number of values which are present in the distribution is even, then the median is nothing but average of n by 2th term and n plus 2 by 2th observation. So the average of these two observations. So let's do that. So let me give you again an example. So let me randomly give the information. So this is my information. You have to find the middle number, median. So let's see first, are they in a typical order? They are not. So let's arrange them. So 2, 4, 5, 7, 8 and then 10. So now as I have arranged, my number of terms 6. So my average is nothing but, my median is nothing but average of n by 2th term, that means 6 by 2 third term, and n plus 2, that means 6 plus 2 8 by 2, which is fourth term. So the average of third and fourth terms will be the median in this given distribution. So what is our third and what are the third and fourth terms here? 5 and 7. So the average for in this given distribution is 5 plus 7 by 2, which is 12 by 2, 6. Right, so that's how we'll be finding in any individual series. So based upon the total number of values, which are given, so we could able to find the median. If it's if there are odd number of values, then it will be one median directly. If not, we have to find the average of it if the total number of values is even. Right. So let's move on to our next case where we have this discrete frequency distribution. Right, so when we have this discrete frequency distribution, the first thing we have to find is our n. So n is nothing but our sum of the frequency. So once we find our n, and then using that we have to find this n by 2. Right, So and then find the cumulative frequency just more than n by 2 and the corresponding value of x is the median. So when we have this discrete frequency distribution, the first thing we have to find is the cumulative frequency. So cumulative frequency is nothing but sum of the frequencies. For suppose we are having xi, fi here. So let me write the xi to be some 50, 60 and 70. My fi to be 5, 7 and 3. So now we have to find the cumulative frequency. So cumulative frequency for the first will be 5 only, and for the next one it will be sum of that particular one including the upper frequencies. That means 5 plus 7, which is 12 here. And here cumulative frequency of 3 will be sum of all these 3. That means 7 plus 3 plus 5. That is 10 plus 5, it will be 15. So likewise we will be finding the cumulative frequency. Right. So after finding the cumulative frequency, in this case we have to determine this n by 2. Right. And we have to check the cumulative frequency. So we have to check the cumulative frequency just more than this n by 2. And that corresponding x value is median. So in this discrete frequency distribution, there is nothing more we will be doing. It's just that we have to find the cumulative frequency and we will be finding the just more cumulative frequency of grade just more than this n by 2 and the corresponding x value will be the median. There is no typical formula here, nothing like that, just simple here. So let's move on to the next one. So here we are having a formula here in order to predict the median when we have in case of our continuous distribution. Right. So the continuous distribution, again we have to find the cumulative frequency. Right. So first we have to find the cumulative frequency, and then based upon the cumulative frequency we have to apply the formula in order to find the. So this is the formula for our continuous distribution, that is L plus H by F n by 2 minus C. Right. So L is our. So first here what we can do is there is one more concept in this continuous distribution, that is concept of median class. Right. So I think we'll just discuss this continuous distribution in our next session. So but we'll just do one question related to, where is this? Okay. Our regular median based upon this cumulative frequency and all. So let's do one question and then we'll see. I'll just give you a question here. Xi and Fi. So I'll be writing the Fi here. So this is the frequency as well as the Xi, which means this is a case of discrete distribution, discrete frequency distribution. So can you guys quickly find the median of this given information, given data? Because we are almost done with our today's session, so that's why I didn't explain the next method. So next one we could discuss in our next session. So we'll just solve this question as we have already discussed our formula and how to determine the median when the discrete frequency distribution is given. So give it a try guys quickly. So take 2 to 3 minutes, work it on and let me know the answer quickly. And if you have any queries while determining this cumulative frequency and all, please let me know. So quickly do it, guys. So the values are given and their corresponding frequencies are also given. So here first thing we have to find is the cumulative frequency. You can form a separate table. I'm just writing it here, so I don't have the space in the bot. Okay, I could do it here. Okay, I'll just write it here, cumulative frequency. So we have to find the cumulative frequency and we have to find sum of all the frequencies so that we could find the median. So let's just find the cumulative frequency. So here it is 5. So 7 plus 5, 12. 12 plus 3, 15. 15 plus 2, 17. 17 plus 4, 21. 21 plus 4, 25. So frequency, the cumulative frequency is 25, which means our sum of all the frequencies is nothing but 25. That means our capital N here is 25. So according to the formula, we have to find N by 2. That means 25 by 2, 12.5. So now we have to, so once we have find the N by 2, then find the cumulative frequency just more than N by 2. So here we are having 12 by 2. So we have to identify the cumulative frequency just more than this. So more than 12.5 we are having 15 because 12 will be less than that. So just more than that will be the 15 is the cumulative frequency which is more than 12.5. And that is 12. Here 15 is not the median, but here the corresponding value of x is the median. That means for this, what is the corresponding x? So 90 is the corresponding x, which means the median for this given discrete frequency distribution is nothing but 90. So this is how we will do for our individual distribution as well as the discrete frequency distribution in order to find the median. So we are having one more distribution, continuous frequency distribution. So that we will be seeing in our next session, and after the median it's just followed by the mode, as well as we are having few more concepts like standard deviation and all. So that we'll just discuss in our next session of statistics. So I hope you guys understood, you guys have followed our session guys. So if you have any doubts, any questions in this particular session, you can feel free to ask me the questions anytime. So thank you guys. So we'll just continue in our next session.